integration package. We add functionality and features to it on a regular basis. So it's really undervalued. You couldn't buy a website for less than what we're putting this out there for. In fact, you can barely get consultation for what we're doing. And it really speaks to our dedication to provide this as a platform for our partners. Let me pull this down and get back to the website. So open it up to some Q&A now. What questions do you have about the technology, the partner program, initial aspects? And then I'll be giving out the Kindle code in about 10 minutes, and you can take that to the partner specialist. And then I also have some questions about our server product. A good question here. Will the slideshow be available? Yeah, the recording of this whole webinar will be available on our main site. So if you go to sosonlinebackup.com, go to SOS for resellers, and then click webinars. All the recordings are available on that page. And then once you become a partner, we have various slideshows that are available for you in use with your team and your staff as you develop your market strategy. Question, can I run a local backup also with the SOS client as part of the remote storage service with an NAS or et cetera? Sure. You know, our system is really only limited by the admin user. So as long as you have read-write access to different drives that Windows acknowledges, then you can back up from or to that location. So our local backup packages your backup in a single proprietary file format. It's a .sos file. So it's a single file that is encrypted. The encryption is verified by the server. So to recover that, you need to open up the software. You would need internet access to verify the encryption process. So it's all about security. Good question here. What is the minimum amount of space a partner needs to purchase? I think it's the lowest package we have. I think it's somewhere around 350 or 500 gigs. But really, you can talk to your partner specialist about what kind of option you want to get going on. Really, if you just want to use it, then they can set up a demo for you, or you can buy a single package, and then after that, you can move from there. We really want this to be able to be a program that you can grow through rather than grow to. Good question. Can you seed the cloud by shipping a hard drive image? Yes. So what this means, everyone, is let's say we have online backup, is limited by its bandwidth. So the initial backup can take quite a bit of time, rather. Our competitors are average about 2 to 3 hours per gig on your average business upload speed. So a bonded T1, something of that nature, decently healthy machine. So you can imagine it takes quite a bit of time to get that initial backup done. So we do have some options for large backup sets and how to get that done more quickly. One option is what we call our PMU service. If you go to our knowledge base, they pull up the website here. So you have our main website. Here's our speed test that you can see. If you go to support and go to our knowledge base, we have a lot of information here about the different services we have available, about our partner program. It's 136 articles about our partner program alone. If you just type in here PMU, physical media upload, they give you all the details on what we're going to do for you there. Basically what we do, because of the security of our system, we don't have the luxury of some less secure systems of just walking into the data center and plugging it in. What we do is we will have you run an image of the machine you want to back up data from. You can send it to us, and then from our location where we have 100 meg pipes up and down, and dedicated servers to run that backup. We'll mount the image onto a VM and run the initial backup. And then that should be a lot faster than what you have. But there's not actually a physical plug and play like some less secure services are doing. Question about, okay, lots of good questions coming up. So questions about backups that are not located within the U.S. Yeah, absolutely. We have data centers in Canada, the UK, India, Kiev, Ukraine that is, and Australia. So we have data centers all over the world. If you need to have backups limited to a specific data center, then that would be something that you can certainly talk to your partner specialists about, and that we do offer. A question about sharing and that kind of flexibility. Some of my customers want to share backup files on a folder basis. Do you support this? If the folder is less than 500 megs, but you can do it to the My Account system. But remember that backup is not designed to be a storage file share service. Really, the security behind it prevents a lot of that from being as easy or flexible as you would want it to be, which is why we have our Collaborate service that we've launched. Our Collaborate service, if you want some more information about that, get at soscollaborate.com. And this is really the type of service that you're looking at in that aspect. Backup is designed in a completely different aspect of that. There's a big misconception in the consumer market that if it's offsite, it's a backup. Or if it's just on this server, it's a backup rather than actually replicating data. So having a true hardcore secure backup is what our backup is for and why we've been so successful in the business market. The file sharing, being able to collaborate on documents, you're talking about a completely different use case for information, and that's where Collaborate really comes in. It's also a completely different set of information. That type of information where you want to share it with somebody, you'd be able to do that on a very simple and easy basis, whereas it's going to be active data, whereas your backup set includes all of your information, your archive data, everything. Question about the level of backup. What kind of backup do we perform? We do perform a delta level backup, so it's a block level incremental backup. So bit level, it's kind of dated. Systems and internet speeds are simply too fast to even bother with a bit level operation at this point. It would be slower to do bit level than block level. And to think about it, it's just units of measurement. There's so many cups in a pint, pints in a quart, quarts in a gallon. There's so many bits in a byte, bytes in a block, blocks in a file. So we did operate in the bit level back in 2001 to 2005, but we operate at a block level now, where we go into, for files that have been backed up already and they've changed, we say, okay, this file's changed. What about that file has changed? And we break it down to the block level, which means that our subsequent backups are easily the fastest in the market. Our initial backup is already here. If you go to our home site, you see that our initial backup speed is already clearly number one, but our initial backup speed is even more than that. For example, if you're backing up a PST file and it's 2 gigs, our competitors are going to take 2 to 5 hours possibly to back that file up, whereas we're doing a block level backup, maybe it takes 15 to 20 minutes. So it's a very, very significant. Good question. Do you accept a Windows backup generated image? Our service is really file agnostic. We really don't care. You just have to understand that the service right now is it's a flat file system. However you give us the information, we're going to encrypt it, compress it, push it off to the cloud, and that's it. So if you give us a full, if you just back up all the system files, that's not going to give you a system recovery. So like you said, if you have a Windows backup image, sure, you can back that up. I would look more into the viability of having such a large file offsite and really plan out your use case for such a scenario, and also have that, you'd want to have some plans for, okay, this is a lot of information, this business only has a T1, how do we download this faster? what happens in this case. Do we have manual offsite? When you have big blocks of information, of course you have to understand the limitations of bandwidth. Good question. Is there a minimum upload speed for the SOS service? No, there isn't, but there's probably a limited usefulness speed. Really, it depends environment to environment. We have people who are running online backups, and their upload speed is maybe 300K a second, and it takes a long time to upload that data. It's not as common that your download speed is going to be that slow. But really, that's part of evaluating how you put a backup solution together and the scope of implementation for each type of strategy you have there in place. Another question, can one spin up an image into a virtual server in the cloud? No, right now we don't create images. Will you be adding support for Linux? Not in the next 2 quarters. Can I back up Linux or Unix? We have just launched our Mac product, so it's available for download on our download site here on our website. You can see there. Good question about our data centers and our infrastructure. What tier class are your data centers, and do you have documentation for that? Yes, if you go to, yes, in the documentation, if you go to the bottom and go to regulatory compliance, it says some information about our data centers and our regulatory compliance. All of our data centers are tier 3 and 4 rated. All the data centers in the U.S. are tier 4 rated. If you need more specifics, then you can contact us about that. We do not own the data centers, but we do own everything in them, and all the